What's up everybody, Jack here from Half Chrome, and today I want to tell you about this. This is the Moblite 6, and it's different than the Moblite 7. Lots of people love this 7 because you get a 10-minute flight time. Well, that's pretty darn impressive. But this guy, the 6, I think actually flies a little bit better. And there's a way to kind of really boost your flight time on this. So stay tuned and I'll tell you why I like this one just a little bit better than the 7 that everybody's raving about. Okay, so this is the Moblite 6, and it is basically the same as the Moblite 7 on a smaller frame, smaller propeller. So really the big difference here is a 65mm frame, and you got 31mm props. The other thing that actually on this one that's different too is there are programmable LEDs on here, and I'll show you how to do that towards the end of the video. Kind of a neat little trick. Now, Chris and I spent a day racing tiny whoops inside at his place, and this guy, pretty darn awesome for that purpose. The things you want to know about it, it has the same 0802 19,000 kV motors as the Moblite 7. Now, they're different motors than the original Mobula 6. This Unibel design, a little bit lighter, saves some weight there. It's an all-in-one F4 flight controller with a built-in VTX and SPI receiver. Now the VTX is switchable from 25 to 200 milliwatts, so that's a pretty neat trick. We got the FR Sky version, so I was able to bind it to my Radio Master. Now I did do some flying with this with the new Jumper T-Lite, and I find the T-Lite just a little bit too small for my liking. I prefer the full-size radio, especially when I'm pinching. The camera on here is the Runcam Nano 3, which is a pretty solid picture. The question is, why do I like this versus the Moblite 7? And it's actually the way that it flies, right? I have better throttle control on this. Actually, the throttle control on this is pretty darn awesome. This is my favorite 65mm tiny whoop. Really, you have a hard time choosing between these two. You get the awesome flight time with the 7, but you get awesome flight characteristics with the 6. Now, one of the big knocks on this is that this camera gets kind of loose. I solved that by putting a screw in up here at the top. And this UFL connector, do not just go out without doing something here. I threw a little dab of hot glue over the UFL connector because if that pops off, you could be in trouble. I also found routing the antenna down through this little hole in the back kept it out of the way. I found that out a little bit too late as I did chop off the end in one of my props. The big knock on this is the durability, right? You just kind of have this little strap protecting the flight controller, so crashes and things kind of leave this exposed. If you're laying on a rock or something outside, that'd be bad news. Overall, it still handles crashes indoors pretty darn well. Now it is a PH 2.0 connector, and you get a pair of 300 milliamp hour batteries with this. You also get some stickers, an extra frame, carrying case, and a charger. All right, so I did tell you that Chris and I did some racing with these things, and we're gonna play that here in a second. But most of the racing we did today was the Moblite 6 versus the original Mobula 6. Now, we're both fairly comparable when it comes to skills, meaning neither one of us are really all that good, and flying inside in a basement, both of us in angle mode, actually was a whole lot of fun, to be totally honest. Okay, and we are off to the races. Set up a nice little track in your basement. You see we got a little picture frame, making a gate here in the middle. Worked really pretty darn well as kind of our finish gate, except for Chris right here. Having a little bit of trouble. We also had a swinging Chewbacca on the course. That made things pretty darn interesting. He was actually doing his best King Kong impression, swatting these things out of the sky. But yeah, flying whoops around your basement, great application here. We live outside of Chicago, and it is cold, cold, cold right now, and it's hard to fly outside. So let's get a little view from the Moblite 6. This really is a super responsive little quad. 18.5 grams, 26 with the battery. Pretty darn impressive. Now you can see Chris on the sticks here with the Mobula 6, and actually I think he's doing a pretty impressive job, especially on this flight here. The Mob 6 is no slouch. It's a pretty fantastic little quad, and actually these things are pretty darn similar. So if you can pick up a Mob 6 for a pretty good deal, heck yeah, I'd do it. Plus, with that canopy, a little better protection, you know, if you're going to be bumping into stuff, which, as you can see, we are. But, you know, when it comes down to it, the Moblite 6 is a better flying quad. You know, is it going to handle the bumps and bruises quite as well? You know, it handled them pretty well on this day. You can see bumping off of ourselves a little bit. But, you know, that the 6 is probably a little bit more durable, but the Lite 6, gosh, it is just so fun to fly. You know, it really is. You know, the only disadvantage really that I found is sometimes I got too close to the ceiling and it would kind of suction into the ceiling, but we can fix that. And we're going to do some different flying with this, the Moblite 6, as well as the Moblite 7, and see if we can't get them to fly just a little bit better, just a little bit further, and just a little bit longer. But grab a friend, get on a race band, and do some whooping, especially in the wintertime. Alright, so you can see that I have connected this thing to my computer via micro USB, and I want to show you a little bit about these LEDs. Now, some of these newer boards have 2 programmable LEDs, which is pretty darn cool. I'm going to click Connect, and I'm going to scroll down to my configuration tab, and I'm going to make sure that LED strip is turned on. Then I'm going to go to the LED strip. Now, you can do all sorts of different things by just changing the color, right? You select the LEDs, you select the color, you click Save, boom. I like to change the throttle with, have the throttle change color. So I selected these here. I selected 8, the cyan, and then as I move the throttle up and down, you can see that it cycles through these colors, cyan, light blue, blue, and then purple, right? It's kind of subtle, but still pretty cool. You know, you can do lots of different things. Turn signals on these. Larson scanner habit warnings. VTX channels change color, modes and orientation. Arm state, I did that for a while when it was disarmed and armed. It would change color. This one's cool, battery indicator. So basically, if you're flying line of sight, you know, you can go from yellow to green or cyan to purple based on, you know, how much battery voltage you have. So some really cool stuff. Play around with this and then click save when you're done, and you can do some pretty neat things. I saw some people just turning the color to white and then using them almost as like headlights, right, to light up the dark places they were flying. So that's pretty cool as well. So hopefully you enjoyed that little tip. Quick shout out to Banks_Asselson. One of my subscribers talked to him the other day. Said, yeah, heck yeah, I'll give you a shout out. So shout out to you, buddy. Good luck growing that channel. We're going to do some different things with both of these, so stay tuned if you want to learn a little bit more about the Moblite 6 and Moblite 7, but that's going to be coming in later videos. If you're looking for one of these drones, there are links down below. There are affiliate links. That's how you can help support this channel. If you like our content, check out our live stream. And a lot of times we give stuff away. In fact, we always give a drone away once a month to one of our lucky Patreon subscribers. So if you want a drone, it's a pretty easy way to get one. Anyway, hey, thanks for watching. Make sure you check us out on halfchrome.com if you haven't already. Good luck and happy flying.